Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of HBCU Conversations here on HBCU Game Day. You know, there's some people who are just always invited to the cookout, no matter where they are. And that's, of course, my good friend Darrell Walker. Man, we got to know each other when he was at Clark Atlanta. Now he is at Arkansas Little Rock, and the winning continues. Coach, the season got cut short. There was nothing anyone could do about that, but your team was on a roll. You were named NABC District Coach of the Year yesterday in your district. So just a great season you guys had, man, and congratulations on that.
Thank you so much, Tyler. It was a fun season. Got a young team. Everybody's coming back. Unfortunately, the season was cut short. There's nothing we could do about that. You have to have safety first. But what an enjoyable year and a turnaround from a team last year that went 10-21 or something like that, and to 21-10. One of the biggest turnarounds in NCAA this year. Good group of guys. It's been fun. It was a fun year. Too bad it got cut short.
You know, one thing that has been remarkable for us covering HBCU sports is to look, when you came to Clark Atlanta, you were already super experienced as a coach. It's not like they just found you, walking on the street in Atlanta. You coached and played in the NBA, the WNBA, but you had a heart, and you've said this before. There was a time when college administrators were like, yeah, but, he hadn't coached in college before. How crazy was that?
It was, I sent my resume a lot of places, and we'll get some phone calls back, some not, your resume is really impressive, but, you've never coached in college. And I'm not being cocky. I would say to myself, well, no, I haven't coached in college. I coached at the highest you can go in this profession. I've coached at the highest level. If I can deal with multimillionaires, why do you think I couldn't deal with 18-year-olds? You never recruited. You don't know the rules. Well, you don't think I can recruit? I was recruited myself out of the South Side Projects of Chicago. I know what recruitment is all about. They talked about, well, you got to learn the rules. And I would say to myself, you got coaches been coaching for 25 years still breaking rules. So what does the rules have to do with anything? So I just took it all in stride. And when I got a phone call from one of my best friends in Atlanta, who's a big-time African-American artist by the name of Kevin Cole, and he was talking about, Clark Atlanta job is open. And I'll never forget it. I was sitting in my driveway. And I said, no. He goes, well, I don't want to hear that crap about you saying you want to coach in college. I'm just letting you know it's a job open and you should send your resume in. So we get off the phone, and after a while, I got in the house, I thought about it. I said, okay, I'll just send my resume in. I mean, they probably won't call me, but I'll send my resume in. So I sent my resume in to Lynn Dawson at Clark Atlanta, and the rest is history.
Wow. Was that your first, really hands-on experience with an HBCU before?
Oh, yes. Yes. When I was in school at University of Arkansas, we would always ride down to University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff in the 80s for homecoming or for a football game. Every once in a while we would do that. But this was, as far as being on campus all the time and indulging myself with the people on campus, yeah, it was a great experience. It was my first time.
What was it about, or maybe some of the things that will always stick with you that just made that HBCU experience unique as you continue on with your coaching career?
Man, it was just, I loved every minute of, first of all, being at Clark Atlanta, who gave me an opportunity to get in college basketball. I'll always be thankful to Lynn Dawson and President Johnson for pulling the trigger and giving me a chance. And just the camaraderie of HBCU schools, the culture, the way that people come back for homecoming, the way people wear their shirts, where they went to school at, the fraternities, which I'm a Kappa myself, old Kappa man myself. So I love everything about the HBCU experience. Somebody asked me maybe a month ago, Tyler, would you ever go back to HBCU school? I said, absolutely. I would, in a heartbeat, in a heartbeat. So that experience is going to always be at the top. One of the top things that I've done in my career is to go to Clark and establish a culture there on and off the court. We won games. We were exciting. You were around, Tyler. It was a fun time to be at Clark Atlanta basketball-wise. We were ranked. We went to the NCAA tournament. So it was a fun time. I love that school.
And Alfred Jordan, who was a Clark man, he played there. You kept him on at the staff, and he's followed you to Little Rock. It just really speaks to the fact that people coaching at HBCUs can coach anywhere. It's not different basketball. It's the same game.
I try to tell people, There's basketball players everywhere. You know how many good basketball players have come from HBCUs? Charles Oakley, Rick Mahorn, Earl Monroe. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So it's basketball everywhere. And I thought the competition in the SIAC was unbelievable. Good coaches down there. So it was a fun experience for me, you know, and Coach Jordan did a great job my first couple of years there because he knew the school inside and out and he knew how to recruit. So it was a perfect partnership.
You know, I talked to Lavelle Moten the other day here on the show, and he and I are friends from way back. And I said, look, man, if I win the Powerball tomorrow and I'm ready to just drop a few million on your program, what are some of the things that you want, right? And he's like, man, I need a practice facility. He said, we have 2 basketball goals. He said, practice facilities are like one of the number one recruiting tools. You have a lot of resources there in Little Rock. I looked at the gym that you guys play in. I mean, it is awesome. What is it like having those things in your toolbox when you go out and you're trying to get the best kids in the country?
Well, it doesn't hurt. They can walk in with their families and first of all and see, we got a really nice practice facility. We really do. And then we have a beautiful 5,000 seat arena called the Jack Stevens Center that was built in 2015. That's really nice. Perfect size for what we're trying to do here in Little Rock. So I understand what Lavelle is talking about. You know, it'd be great to have that practice facility and get more goals. And when it means more goals, that's more opportunities for these guys to get shots up.
How many, like, what other thing, like when you have a practice facility outside of just practice, like what other resources and, you know, kind of to the benefit of the student athletes does that bring to a program?
Oh, they can come in the gym at any time and shoot and work on their game. I think that's important. I think the more guys stay in the gym is going to be better for the team and better for you as a coach. That's big. And I understand what he's talking about. You have a practice facility. You got 2 goals. That's not a lot of goals. It's not a lot of baskets to work on.
Yeah. And then you got the share time with the girls team or the women's team and volleyball. Yeah, and everything else.
I've done that at Clark, and we made it work. And you know it was fun, but you know we made it work.
Yeah. Talking to our good friend Darrell Walker, head coach now at Little Rock, had an outstanding season. Coach, when you played in the NBA, you played with AJ English in Washington, right? Do I have my timeline right on that?
I think I was. I don't know if I was traded or not. I think I did play with AJ for 1 year. I did. AJ was a good kid, good player.
Yeah, he recently got inducted, well overdue, into the CIAA Hall of Fame.
He should have been in there. What are they waiting on?
Yeah.
Who does the election? Who does the voting around there? I said when I saw that, I goes, AJ's just going in. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He there's a backlog. There's a lot of good people that had to get in. Good to see that he finally made it there. I wonder, you know, having played in the league, do you ever just kind of find yourself sometimes reminiscing, thinking about, you know, how we all kind of make a move in the driveway on that invisible man while we're walking. Do you ever kind of have those flashback moments?
No, because I'm scared I'll tear my Achilles. Oh, I'll have the moment, but I won't go into the move.
So you'll just think about it, huh?
I just think about it. Oh, that'd be nice to do it. I see these kids jumping up and dunking and 360 and practice sometime, and I go, can you believe I used to could do that? Used to. Right.
Yeah. Key word.
Capital word. Used to do that.
Yeah. I look at some of my times, what I used to be able to run. Not that it was an athletic time, but for myself, there's a minute or two has been added on to that over time.
No doubt about it. But I mean, I enjoyed my HBCU experience at Clark. I mean, I know I sound redundant, keep saying the same thing, but it was a fun time for me. I enjoyed the bus rides. I enjoyed competing against the other coaches. I enjoyed that Morehouse Clark. That last game, my last year there.
Oh, man.
I wish that game would have been on ESPN2 or something, man, because it was an instant classic. I
think that was one of the only games I can remember where the losing team, I don't know, wasn't mad. I mean, it was such an experience. I felt like, you know, even though one team won and one team lost, like we all won for having been there with that experience.
Whoever was at that game, I tell you what, that was a heck of a basketball game. And HBCU is a downtime right now. You guys, you game day. You guys better find that game and put it on Twitter.
I got it.
It's a heck of a basketball game. It's an instant classic. And I went and talked to my team afterwards, man. And I just told them, hey, man, it was a heck of a game. Unfortunately, we had to take the loss. I said, but we're a good basketball team and give Morehouse their due. They got a really good basketball team too. And that was triple overtime. That was, I've been in a lot of games, but that was a fun game to be involved in, man. It was a great game.
Man, it was something else, one to remember for sure.
The place was rocking.
Coach, when you were an assistant at New Orleans, you were there when they drafted Chris Paul?
Mm-hmm. I was there.
Okay. What do you think when you look up and see I don't know, resurgence might be too strong of a word, but a lot of people doubted him after his stint in Houston and then the year he had with Oklahoma City this year?
Well, Chris is an all-star. Very intelligent basketball player, has a passion for the game. I knew he was going to return to all-star status. I knew that right away when he was going to get the ball back into his hands. And he was going to be controlling the pace of the game, and he was going to be running the offense. I knew he was going to go back to the All-Star game. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, so that was nothing. I was never concerned about that. The one thing I do love about Chris Paul is that he loves basketball, loves his family, but he also respects and he loves HBCU schools.
Oh, absolutely.
He's shown that by giving money. He's shown that by repping shirts of different schools, sweat tops. So he's a friend of HBCUs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's really been a resurgence among athletes who didn't attend HBCUs. They're really, in the last few years, they've kind of understood the importance of representation, even if it wasn't their school.
No, I said to myself, and I did, after my 2 years at Clark and what I experienced, I said, if I could have went to an HBCU school and still been the 12th pick in the draft, I think I would have done it. I think I would have done it. I mean, because it's just so different. The student body, the people that come back. You got people coming back 85 years old, coming back to homecoming, repping their schools or their fraternity. It's just something special about HBCU schools. And I love it and was so blessed to be a part of that action for 2 years at Clark Atlanta.
Yeah, it was a great time. We enjoyed having you here. We enjoyed George Lynch since he's been here. He was one of my favorite players at the University of North Carolina. Okay. He started the foundation with HBCU Heroes. So he's kind of picking up where you left off, is trying to raise money and awareness for HBCUs with kind of his first real experience there. So it's
that's great, and hopefully he can carry that tradition on.
Yeah, and almost made it to the championship game, man. Clark was in the. They were in the semifinals, but that Miles, boy,
Fred has done a great job at Miles.
Yeah, that was
a great job at Benedict and did a great job at Miles. So I saw the Morehouse Clark game. It wasn't as intense or it wasn't as packed as it was the 2 years I was there. It seemed like it was quiet to me.
Yeah, and the one at Clark, man, they put it. They put the beat down on Morehouse.
Yeah, I saw that. They put the beat down on Coach Grady them over there.
Yeah, that was a little surprising, but they did split this year. Coach, we'll let you go here, but okay. You've still got to recruit, but you can't go anywhere.
It's a dead period. Can't go anywhere. Still can talk to guys. Can't go anywhere. It's a funny time right now. It's a funny period, but we got to stay focused on what we're doing and lock in, and that's what we've been doing.
Wow. Well, best of luck to you, man. We will still continue to follow you guys at Little Rock, and we wish you all the success in the world, because when you do well, we always say, hey, that was our guy from Clark Atlanta right there, Darrell Walker.
No doubt about it. Thank you so much, Tyler. Appreciate you.
All right. Take care. That's Coach Darrell Walker, and you are listening to HBCU Conversations here on HBCU Game Day.